Hi, I'm Olivia, and today's happy nugget comes from Ayrton Senna, the legendary Brazilian race car driver, three-time Formula One world champion. Ayrton Senna was one of the greatest race car drivers of all time. His dedication, concentration, and focus were unparalleled. Senna had raw talent, but he also lived and breathed racing, squeezing every ounce of effort out of himself. Ayrton Senna had a brilliant mind. He visualized himself driving and could predict to the fraction of a second what his time would be. He could correlate numerous parameters to understand how each piece of the car, the condition of the track, and the environment would affect his performance. While driving at extreme speeds, he could remember complex details like exhaust pressure, water temperature, and oil pressure. He knew with the slightest change of feel if something was wrong with the brakes, the engine, or the tires, and if he could, he would adjust the car on the go and still perform. In a 15-lap race, he could tell in order which lap was the fastest, second fastest, and so on. Ayrton Senna knew exactly what he wanted and what he needed to take his driving to the highest level. There was an absolute giving of himself to the sport, to how he approached the path to victory, to winning, to being the best. From a wonderful biography by Christopher Hilton. In an interview in 1990, Ayrton Senna said, "You either commit yourself as a professional racing driver that is designed to win races, or you come second, or you come third, or you come fifth, and I am not designed to come third, fourth, or fifth. I race to win, as long as I feel it is possible. Sometimes you get it wrong. Sure, it is impossible to get it right all the time, but I race designed to win. And as long as I feel I am doing it right, some people agree, some don't. In the end, I am the one who is doing it. I am the one who is driving, and I can only do what speaks from my mind." Ayrton Senna was born in Sao Paulo in 1960. His father was a self-made, successful businessman. When Ayrton was 4 years old, his father gave him a go-kart. Although legally he couldn't compete until he was 13 years old, Ayrton practiced every afternoon, or took apart his cart and spent hours reassembling it, absorbing every detail until it was exactly the way he wanted it. In school, Ayrton's grades were average to below average, dedicating most of his time to racing. Utterly self-confident in his driving, he was skillful but also willing to take risks. In 1973, when he was 13, Ayrton raced officially for the first time, broke the track record, and won. In 1974, he won the Sao Paulo Junior Championship. Ayrton practiced all the time. If he wasn't good at something, he practiced even more. Senna was extremely competitive and hated losing. Whatever he tried, ping pong, tennis, water skiing, he practiced dozens, hundreds of times until he stopped losing. But as much as he competed with others to be the best, he competed with himself 10 times harder, and the harder he pushed, the more he found within himself. In 1980, Ayrton Senna was at a crossroads, having to decide whether to stay in karting, join the family business, or race cars, which would mean leaving his beloved country and family and moving to England. Ayrton Senna moved to England, and in 1983 he reached Formula One, joining bigger teams and driving more sophisticated cars until he signed with the British Formula One team McLaren in 1988. Ayrton Senna lost the first Grand Prix race of the season. He won the second, and on the third one in Monaco, Senna was leading by a large margin when on the 67th lap he lost concentration for a fraction of a second and lost. Senna was devastated. Again, from Hilton's biography, speaking of his mistake, Ayrton Senna said, "Afterwards, I had to understand how such a thing could have happened. We all make mistakes, and that is normal. But the important thing was to know how I had let it happen. I really had a blackout, and then I found the way to get out of the situation. Some of my family helped me. Little by little, I returned to top form, but only slowly and carefully. I needed a full 2 months. Viewed from the outside, I don't think people noticed it, but it was a major part of my development. Afterwards, Ayrton Senna went on to win 7 more of the 16 Grand Prix races to win the World Championship. He also won the World Championships in 1990 and 1991. In 1994, when he was 34 years old, Ayrton Senna died in a tragic racing accident, breaking the heart of an entire nation and millions of fans around the world. Towards the end of his young life, Ayrton Senna wanted to make a difference in a realm outside car racing, the endemic poverty in Brazil. Shortly before his death, he launched a comic book series called Seninha, or Little Senna, illustrating the values that had exemplified his life and his career. Although Senna didn't get to see firsthand the impact his life has had on the people of his beautiful country, his family carried his legacy with the Ayrton Senna Institute and Foundation, which gives Brazilian children opportunities for human development. In Brazil, Ayrton Senna is not only a sports legend, he is an icon of hope for millions of people. In 1981, after Senna had left for England to go racing, he returned to Brazil, intending to stop racing and join the family business, as was expected of him as the firstborn son. In an interview, Ayrton Senna said, "I was already very strong in my mind that I wanted to try properly, try very hard, and that meant I had to learn to live in a different country, away from my own people. And if that was not such a good side of my new lifestyle, it was fulfilling slowly a personal goal, a personal desire. We had a very successful year, and I won 2 championships, but my father had some difficulties, and it required me to return to Brazil to try to help him out with a few things. So I decided then to try not to race and see the difference. I tried racing professionally, then I tried really not to race and do some normal business. I realized then how strong the desire was that I had to be a racing driver." Ayrton Senna was a force to be reckoned with. He touched the lives of everyone he met, and beyond that, he gave pride, joy, and hope to an entire nation, and he mesmerized a legion of fans around the world. Ayrton Senna had the heart of a champion. To be a champion doesn't mean you're perfect, but it does mean you strive for perfection, always. You can try to fight against your own destiny, against that passion that keeps you up at night. You can listen to what others want for your life, but in the end, racing towards the finish line, behind the wheel of your own life, is the only way to feel the satisfaction of knowing you're doing with every fiber of your being what you were meant to do. And that's today's Happy Nugget. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe. As always, I link below the video anything I recommend. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. See you next time.